Pauline Zimmerman, as you all know. I'm president of the Jewish Federation and co-chair along with Lisa Miller of the programming committee. Lisa is also a past chair of the Federation. As you all know, our Federation is a vibrant and amazing organization. We have something to offer. We have scholarships, camperships, we do programming, a lot of programming. We support both national and international projects. We also have an alliance with Afula Gilboa in Israel, our sister city, and actually last Thursday, through the hard work of Gary Jones, our CEO and executive director, we met with the liaison from Israel and one from the United States here. And that was an amazing program because they actually met with us in Southbury. We got to see where the money that's going to Jaffna from Ukraine is going. They are doing Aliyah Express, which means there's no wait to get into Israel. It's just such a great feeling to know that our money's going totally to the effort. Let's see what else I have here. Just a couple of things. We will be having our annual Yom HaShoah program Wednesday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. There is a Yom HaShoah fund. It's called the Max and Faye Katz Yom HaShoah Fund, and yearly we do that program. This year, Rachel Albert, who's chairing it, is asking everyone who would like to send a video or a picture of themselves holding a candle. Please do that. We're looking for as many people who are willing to do that, and Kathy or I can assist you with the process. We are also very excited to announce we're starting a young leadership program for adults ages 22 to 40. Our first event is May 11th at 7 o'clock. We are working closely with Ben Schindler from Jaffna, and we really think that this is going to be a great program. There will be a social aspect, but really what we're really hoping for is to have people join that we can start on the leadership ladder. So if anyone is interested, if you know of anyone in your congregation, your neighborhood, your organization who might be interested, again, please let us know, and we'd be thrilled to contact them. I want to give a huge thank you to Rabbi Nebel, to Cantor Penny, Kessler, and to Linda Goodman for their dedication and time to make tonight such a success. Also to Kathy Conti, our programming director, and our executive director, Gary Jones. Tonight's Seder, like I said, is from the Faye and Max Foundation, but also it's being underwritten by Adam Broderick from Adam Broderick Salon and Spas in Ridgefield and Southbury. And he also donated 5 $100 gift certificates that will be, we're not going to raffle, we're going to ask you at a certain point to put your name in the chat, and then we'll select the first 5 names. And if I am one of them, I'm taking it because I have a chair with my name on it in Southbury. But that was really nice of him to also give that to us. I'd like to introduce, for those of you who don't know her, Lisa Miller. As I said, she's our programming co-chair. She's a current board member. She was also a past president whose knowledge, energy, and positivity are always part of all of our programming. So thank you, everyone. I'm so excited that we're all here. I think we have an amazing group. I heard that some already broke into their food and it was good. So I'm thrilled. And Kathy, thank you again for all you've done. Lisa?
Thank you. And I also we acknowledge Cantor Breznick.
I apologize, I'm sorry.
And at the last minute, you came through for us, so thank you.
Thank you, Pauline, for your introduction. The word Haggadah means the telling. And many other festivals, we are commanded to listen. We must hear the Megillah on Purim. We must hear the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. But on Pesach, we are commanded to speak. We must speak of our past. We must tell our own stories. We must seek out our voice. This Seder is about giving voice to our experiences. Tonight, we embrace our rich heritage as Jewish women, create new rituals, and establish safe and supportive space for one another. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to turn over the Seder to Rabbi Rhonda Nebel.
Hi, everyone. Bruchim habayim. It is wonderful to see the old faces from last year and the new faces this year as well. And it's a pleasure to be able to do this yet again. And I'm looking forward to the day when we can be in the same room and do all of this together in person. On our page number 1, we're going to go through the Haggadah, page by page. And I have a master list of who's doing what, so that if anybody, doesn't come in their part, Kathy doesn't have to worry about it. I can prompt them. So Kathy, relax, you've done plenty. Just sit back. Every year at the Passover Seder, Jews around the world open the retelling of the story by declaring halachma anya, which includes the line, all who are hungry, come and eat. It's a beautiful gesture that expresses one of the core values of this holiday. Everyone, no matter one's income level, deserves to celebrate being free at Passover. At all other Seders, we hear the stories of our forefathers, but the voices of our mothers are silent. Tonight, they will be heard.
At all other Seders, the heroic deeds of our sisters, Miriam, Yocheved, Shifra, and Pua are kept hidden. Tonight, we will celebrate their courage.
At all other Seders, we denounce the Pharaoh of the past. Tonight, we will also examine the pharaohs of our own day.
At all other Seders, we rejoice only in our liberation as a people. Tonight, we also celebrate our empowerment as Jewish women.
And so the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls wrapped in their cloaks upon their shoulders.
You'll need to travel light. Take what you can carry. A book, a poem, a battered tin cup, your child strapped to your chest, clutching your necklace in one hot, possessive fist. So the dough isn't ready, so your heart isn't ready. You haven't said goodbye to the places where you hid as a child, to the friends who aren't interested in the journey, to the graves you've tended. But if you wait until you feel fully ready, you may never take the leap at all. And infinity is calling you forth out of this birth canal and into the future's wide expanse.
I
Catherine?
believe,
Learn
I
to
believe,
learn
Go
to
ahead, I'm
improvise flat cakes without yeast. Learn to ready new alphabets. Wear God like a cloak and stride forth with confidence. You won't know where you're going, but you have the words of our sages, the songs of our mothers, the inspiration wrapped in your kneading bowl. Trust that what you carry will sustain you and take the first step out the door.
At this time, we're doing what's called the orchatz, the washing of the hands. And I have a hand washer here so that I can symbolically do it for us. And as I take the water and I put it over my fingers, as we wash our hands, we look at them, noticing the soft skin, if you're lucky, or the bitten cuticles, or the lines that have come from long years of living.
These are the hands that comfort, that bless, the type on a computer, that plant seeds, that make paper airplanes, that test for fever. We wash these hands with water, symbol of the waters of Miriam's well, the waters that parted for the Israelites as they fled Mitzrayim, the waters of the womb that brings forth life.
Page 4. Sorry, I was on page 4, Miriam's cup.
Right. We pass Miriam's cup around the table and each pour into it some drops of water. Just as each shares in the cup, so too the presence of each person adds something unique to this Seder. May the cup of Miriam refresh and inspire us as we embark on our journey. through this Haggadah. May we fill it with memories of our past and hopes for our futures.
Zot kos Miriam, kos mayim chayim, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, Mitzrayim. Zot kos Miriam, God's gift to us all. May the living waters bring us hope. May the living waters bring us peace. May the living waters carry us on our way. Zot kos Miriam, kos mayim chayim, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, Mitzrayim. This is the cup of Miriam, the cup of living waters. Let us remember the Exodus from Mitzrayim.
All right, so this is always a big favorite part of every Seder, when we can stand up and dance and use our timbrels and celebrate and be joyous together. But so I hope that you maintain that image in your head and you sing from your space, and we can celebrate and be joyous together. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced all night long. Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. When Miriam stood upon the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced. Oh, Miriam the prophet took the timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. Miriam raised her voice in song. She sang with all her might. We've just lived through a miracle. We're gonna dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Next year we'll be together.
Amen.
The breaking of the middle matzah. Tonight, let us bless our cracked surfaces and our sharp edges, unafraid to see our brittleness and brave enough to see our beauty. Reaching for wholeness, let us piece together the parts of ourselves we have found and honor all that is still hidden.
And we'll keep in our minds those we know who are in need of healing and their caretakers who are in need of strength, and all those people who we know need our support. Imotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishenera imotenu mikor habracha labotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalom, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
That was beautiful, Linda. Thank you. On page 7, we continue with the 4 questions. A little different than traditional ones. We ask as sisters of the Federation. Pauline. Pauline?
Oh, I'm sorry. Why do we celebrate a women's Seder? We hold the Sisterhood Seder to celebrate the role which women played in the Exodus from Egypt and our continuous role in preserving and perpetuating Jewish heritage.
Pat? Unmute, Pat, unmute. Whoop, give her a sec.
Okay. Why can we now feel joyous at this occasion? Because we as women have prepared our own rituals and are reading about women who have contributed to these rituals.
Why at this Seder do we dip twice? We dip twice to remember the slavery our foremothers faced, both as Jews and as women.
Kathleen?
Why do we reflect and recline? Because we acknowledge with pride the accomplishments of our Jewish sisters throughout history, who have touched the world with their healing power, facilitated communications between adversaries, nurtured their families, cared for the disabled, and through teaching ensured that the Exodus story would be passed down from generation to generation.
Beth, the song of questions.
Mother asks the clever daughter, who are our mothers? Who are our ancestors? What is our history? Give us our name, name our genealogy.
Sandra? Mother asks the simple daughter, if Miriam lies buried in sand, why must we dig up those bones? Why must we remove her from the sun and stone where she belongs?
The one who knows not how to question, she has no past, she has no present. She can have no future without knowing her history, without knowing her angers, without knowing her questions.
Pesach, we examine plagues, not only those of Egypt, but those which afflict our own generation.
Thank you. Margie Surmer?
In many places in the world, even in our own country, people face discrimination because of their race, ethnicity, sex, sexual orientation, or age. Today, we affirm that all people should have the right to equal treatment under the law.
God bless everybody, because to try to do a responsive reading on Zoom is impossible. So that's what where it says, "Oh, please let the reader read." Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
We have polluted our environment instead of protecting it. Today, we affirm that the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the good earth around us, all these should be humanity's heritage.
Barbara Weisblatt, are you with us? Are you
Yes.
on?
In too many places, the death and destruction of war never ceases. Today, we affirm that the people of the world should be able to live together peacefully, both within a nation and across borders.
Lily.
Economic justice. Too often our nation's policies have denied the people dignity and opportunity and have left them out in the streets homeless. Today we affirm that even the poorest among us deserve both dignity and the fulfillment of basic human needs, including shelter.
Beverly.
Chemical dependency. For some people, alcohol or drugs have been abused to the point where people's humanity is under thrall to these chemicals. Today, we affirm at this Seder that wine must never be more than a symbol of joy and sanctification. It must never become a pharaoh of our own creation.
World hunger. This year, hundreds of thousands are dying from starvation as famine spreads through many areas in the third world. Today, we affirm that no one should ever have to feel the pangs of hunger.
Irene.
We are reminded that the roots of religious intolerance still run deep in this country. Today, we affirm that this nation was founded on the principles of freedom and equality for all religions.
Unemployment. Our society has forced degradation upon the millions of perennial unemployed. Today, we affirm that being able to earn one's own livelihood is essential to human dignity.
Denial of human rights. Oppressive regimes seek to extinguish the light of freedom in many nations. Today, we affirm that freedom shall never perish for any of God's children.
Threat of nuclear holocaust. We have given our children an inheritance of nightmares, the nightmare of a nuclear cloud constantly over their heads. Today, we affirm that our children deserve dreams of a peaceful future.
Before we continue with Dayenu, I just want to take a moment to add another Dayenu that we should be thinking about. It's a moment of reflection on the significance of both the modern miracle and the political challenges of our beloved homeland, Eretz Yisrael. Although in our most recent history, our people suffered its greatest loss in the Holocaust, we have also seen a wonderful rebirth in the state of Israel. The United Nations voted for the creation of a free and independent Jewish state in 1947, the dream which our people had cherished for almost 1900 years finally came true. We had our homeland, but no sooner did the Jewish state come into being than it was attacked by 7 surrounding Arab states. The wars of 1948, 56, 67, 73, 82, and terrorism in its many forms were and are to this day a fight for its survival. With courage and sacrifice, Israel stands to this day. And at this Seder, when we thank God for the great gift of freedom, we think not only of freedom from Egyptian bondage long ago, but we think also of the freedoms which the state of Israel has brought to our people. Freedom from homelessness and exile, freedom from persecution, and freedom to build a new life in an ancient land. O source of freedom and peace, we pray for a home secure and safe. We pray for an oasis of peace, a wellspring of shalom for Israel, its neighbors, and shalom for all people everywhere.
Amen.
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 We continue on page 10 with Diana.
Die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, 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 die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, Dianu, Dianu. From singing Dianu, we learn to celebrate each landmark on our journey. Yet we must never confuse these way stations with the redemptive destination, because it is not yet Dianu, not yet enough. There is still so much to do in our work of repairing the world. If we speak truthfully about the pain, joys, and contradictions of our lives, Dianu. If we listen to others with sensitivity and compassion, Dianu. Die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, 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 die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, Dianu, Dianu.
If we continue to organize, march, and vote to affirm our values, Dianu. If we fight against economic injustice, sexism, racism, and homophobia where we live, work, study, and pray, Dianu. If we volunteer our time and money, Dianu. If we break the silence about violence against women and children in the Jewish community and everywhere, Dianu.
Dianu.
Die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, 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 die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu, Dianu.
If we teach our students and our children to pursue justice with all their strength, Dianu. If we care for the earth and its future as responsibly as we care for those we love, Dianu. If we realize our power to affect change, Dianu. Die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu.
If we bring holiness into our lives, homes, and communities, Dianu. If we honor our vision more than our fears, Dianu. Vilo, Dianu. It will and will not be enough. And what is the promise to women? That we affect our own lives and the generations that follow us.
Okay, and I'm holding an egg, thank you. The egg symbolizes not only Passover, but also spring, birth, and womanhood. The round smoothness of the egg reminds us of the continuity of life and the cyclical nature of rebirth. The egg is a quintessentially female symbol, and it holds within it the promise of new life. As we examine our lives and the many different paths we follow, let us never lose sight of the idea of the egg, filled with potential, waiting for the right moment to appear. While the egg, when new, may be fragile, when placed in boiling water, it becomes firmer. So too do we gain strength from adversity and experience.
Orange. We use the orange to represent inclusion, the variety of people, perspectives, and expressions symbolized by its many segments and seeds. The orange suggested the fruitfulness of all Jews when each and every one of us are contributing and active members of Jewish life.
Another item on our Seder plate is an olive. After the flood, Noah's dove brought back an olive branch as a sign that the earth was habitable. Today, ancient olive groves are destroyed by violence, making a powerful symbol of peace into the casualty of war. We keep an olive on our Seder plate as an embodied prayer for peace in the Middle East and every place where war destroys lives, hopes, and the freedoms we celebrate tonight.
If I had a door behind me, I would open it, but my door is so far away that doesn't make any sense. But we are mindful that doors can be open, inviting and hospitable. They can also be closed, limiting and rejecting. So let us commit ourselves to fashioning a world that is full of open doors. And let us take a few moments to think about women who opened doors for us, who inspired us, and who help us as women we know personally or who we admire from afar. And I have a wonderful list here of 5 ladies who asked to speak on reflecting on women that inspired them. My first person is Catherine Albee. Catherine?
I'm right here.
There you are.
Some women that have inspired me, and I might get teary. I'm a crier with this sort of stuff, so I'll just fair warning. So I'd like to pay tribute to Pauline and Alexis Zimmerman, who were my first Jewish female role models, and have gone from being a student and her mom to being beloved family. And for them, I am so appreciative. And I'd also like to recognize the 2 young women that are in my classroom with me today, who have been my advisors as through my conversion. And I could go to them and ask them questions that I wasn't comfortable asking my rabbi. So, and they've just been, I'm so lucky and sad that they're leaving me at graduation. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you, Pauline.
Marion Dar.
Yes, hi. So I find very inspirational the many women caregivers. And I think that the many caregivers, most of them, not all, women, and I think we all know some, that so tirelessly and enthusiastically dedicate great time and effort, often to the sacrifice of other life experiences, to care for their loved ones. And I pray that we may all live long and healthy lives and continue to be there for our loved ones and the communities that we so proudly support.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
Izzy Kaplan.
I realized that when we were putting this together, when Kathy was putting this together, all the wonderful women who have been included here and sitting around this table, I think of 3 people. Cantor Penny Kessler, I know as Penny from a long time ago. She inspired me for her teaching me not just my beginner Hebrew, and started me off on my path to conversion, serving on my Beit Din. We've marched against gun violence. I'm honored to have her as a friend, a longtime friend. She will always be. Barbara Weisblatt, from whom I'm always learning. And to my current squeeze, Rabbi Nebel, who has become my fast and furious friend, with whom I share a stiff margarita and a chocolate vodka on occasion, only on occasion, okay? And who inspires me every Shabbat with her words. Thank you for that.
Missy. Lisi?
You know, it's at holidays most of all, but daily and many times a day that I think of my mother. And a number of you on the Zoom tonight knew my mother, remembered her, and she definitely inspired me. My father died and left her with 3 young children, and she always worked and she volunteered, and she gave me the love, the traditions, the physical items that I use in my home. And I think of her, and I'm so glad that I can share those with our growing family, which a lot of the readings that we read tonight, I can definitely address and use in our own Seders. Our family is diverse in religion and nationality and gender. And I think that's what all families are becoming. So it gives us an opportunity when we get to celebrate these traditions, to share, to teach, to remember. And I also want to say that Pat Goldman and another old Danburyite, Ellie Cohn, were 2 of my younger version role models. They were Jewish women raising families, working in the community, volunteering, and I always admired them. And Pat, I don't know if I ever told that to you, but you know, you did so much for me personally and for my family and for the community. And we're lucky that we still have you. Thank you.
I ditto that, Lisi. Thank you.
I have to say, I'm so amazed at how connected everybody is for all different kinds of reasons and walks of life. Everybody's connected here, no matter how far apart you are. It's beautiful. And lastly, we have Bryna.
What happened is I shut off my video for a second because I dropped something and I had to find something on my desk here. When I put the video back on, it says you cannot start your video.
Right.
Because the host has stopped it. And I don't know what that means.
Okay, so speak now. We hear you.
Anyway, it's just on a personal level, and I thought everyone was supposed to do this. So I just wrote that I wanted to thank my mother's 3 older sisters, 2 of whom were never married, Belle and Fagel, and the other one was the oldest sister. And I just wanted to thank them, they are all deceased, but without my 2 aunts, the middle sisters who were never married, Frances was called Fagel and Belle, that they loved me throughout their childhood and they treated me with unconditional love. And they made it possible for me to go to graduate school and get my master's degree in counseling. And their inheritance also made it possible for me to purchase the home where I am now in Cheshire. And the oldest sister, my aunt, Kay Levine, who was president of ORT. I don't know if you ever heard of that organization, but she was as close as a mother to me. It made me feel that her home was mine. And when I attended undergraduate school, I lived there for quite a while and I felt safe and happy in her Hamden home. And I continued to learn how to be an honorable, community-oriented person who always tries to help others. And that's kind of what I
Thank you, Bryna. That's lovely.
Thank you. And if I can get my video on, I'll be back on.
Well, at this point, we're just happy to know that you're with us.
Thank
We
you.
are on page 12 now. We're going to continue with a cup of peace and a cup of challenge. And I'm going to let Alexis's mom take this one. Pauline, first of all, you have to unmute. Yep.
You might think I'd know that. Sorry. This cup of wine is dedicated to the women of the future who will have to rise to the challenge of this century. They can be proud of their predecessors who have helped pave the way. We, tonight, celebrate our past and the potential of women to come. This cup can also be thought of as a cup of peace. This cup is dedicated to the hope of peace in our communities, the Middle East, and everywhere. I think it's safe to add Ukraine here. We are obligated each year to tell this story as if we ourselves have gone forth from Mitzrayim. But let us not forget those who remain behind in lands of war and slavery.
And let us all raise our glass. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Oh no, this is something completely different. I'm sorry. Baruch at Adonai Eloheinu shomeret haolam borei peri hagafen. You are blessed, O God, guardian of time and space, who creates the fruit of the vine. Chaim?
Amen.
And now I think it's time to eat and schmooze. And so
I don't know if everybody heard in the beginning. Thank you, Rabbi. Is it okay if I mention about the gift certificate at this point?
Oh, whatever it is, sure.
The program tonight was underwritten by the Adam Broderick Salons and Spas in Ridgefield and in Southbury. And Adam also gave us 5 $100 gift certificates. So to keep things as fair as possible, we would like to ask you ladies to open up the chat. And the first 5 ladies who put their name in the chat will be given the gift certificates. I'm going to stay out of it. No matter
I'll
how
write it
badly I
down.
want.
Wait a second, Pauline?
Yes.
The
yeah.
chat, the chat is not open to everyone. I was just sending a message to Kathy. I don't think that people.
That's fine. Just put it. No. But everyone can open the chat. The message will go to Kathy and she'll read the first 5 names who've entered. So I'll put my name in. It will be discarded just to make sure that this works.
Just to see
But
that
my
it works.
name
I
will
did it.
not-
I did
Okay.
that too. Did you get it, Kathy?
Did you get them, Kathy? You should have.
I'm getting,
Okay.
yeah, I'm getting
Great.
them.
So go ahead, ladies, and we'll let you know who the first 5 ladies are.
Yeah, you can just
Congratulations.
tell me I was just doing a test for you.
Same thing. Yes, same for me. Please.
It's all, what happens is when the next person puts their name in, the one above them goes away. So can we do it one more time, please? Let's try it again, Sam. So Kathy Albee, Lori, Margie, Kathy, Lori. See, again, it only lets me see 3.
All right, so we know that it's Catherine Albee. I think Lori was the second one.
Beth
and
Rose.
Marty Sermon was
Sermon,
3. Beth
and
Rosen
Beth
was
Rosen.
4. And who's our 5th one?
I put mine in right away. I don't know. So that's all I know.
Okay.
Kathy?
So who's number 5, Kathy? The next person that you see?
But Bryna Shane.
Okay.
Enjoy the dues, everybody.
Their dues.
Okay. So the apple was nice. It was just apples and cinnamon, no nuts.
It was very good.
Oh, all the food was wonderful.
Yes, it was.
So nicely prepared.
Kathy, do you want to tell everybody where the food was prepared this year?
It is from the Jewish Senior Services out of Bridgeport, and we use them monthly for our senior citizens luncheon called Lovin' Knishes. And they deliver, so that makes it even better.
I just want to thank everyone again on behalf of Federation for joining us. The Cantor, or Rabbi Nebel, Rabbi Breznick, Cantor Penny, and Linda Goodman and just everyone. It's just so nice. What a great crowd we had this year, even on the, and what, you know, it was kind of nice because it's really rainy out. So
Yes.
it was
Nobody
great.
wanted to go out anyway, right?
Right. We don't have to drive home in it. We're already there.
That's right.
I want to wish everybody a Chag Sameach, a kasher, a happy and a healthy and a kosher Pesach. And I'll be seeing you all either in person or on squares.